months. Call 1-844-537-2999.
Get the best deal in mobile. Switch to Spectrum.
You are loved. You are valued. You are resilient. You got this.
You're there for them. We're here for you. Find free care guides at aarp.org/caregiving.
It's 8 o'clock. Breakfast is being served at Ellen's downtown.
Hello, I'm Jordan Hicks, and this is your Spectrum News. It has sent dozens of emergency crews to Louisiana to help fight wildfires burning near the Texas border. This week, Abbott renewed a disaster declaration for more than 200 Texas counties threatened by fires. COVID cases are on the rise. However, Governor Abbott tweeted today saying there will be no mask mandates in Texas. Experts remain confident this season's COVID vaccine will still be effective. And it's been 6 years since Hurricane Harvey made landfall in Texas. The storm killed more than 100 people and caused more than $120 billion in damages. Southeast Texas saw catastrophic flooding. Now, time for a hyperlocal look at your forecast and your weather on the ones.
The triple-digit heat continues into the weekend. Please plan your outdoor activities accordingly. Highs will range from about 104. Sunday, we're down just a couple of degrees, and we've got a low rain chance through the afternoon and early evening hours. It's because a cold front approaches Sunday. That brings even more heat relief early next week. Look at the change ahead with your 7-day coming up.
Hello, thank you for joining us here on Spectrum News 1. I'm Todd Boatwright. Well, as another school year begins, districts across the state are still looking for ways to keep kids safe. In Dallas, school bus drivers are using new technology to enhance safety. Emily Pounds shows us how it all works.
Thousands of students rely on school buses each day to get to their campuses, and a groundbreaking initiative is turning heads at Dallas ISD. Thousands of students across Texas rely on technology at Dallas ISD as ensuring families are well informed about their children's bus routes and stops.
So this actually comes off so we can take it with us and walk.
Meet Tamara Del Bosque, a dedicated bus driver for 9 years. She knows the ins and outs of her route like the back of her hand. Getting a glimpse inside her school bus, she gives an up-close look on how the app works.
We can pull up indefinitely, like where they are, how we can find them, how fast they're going.
Del Bosque goes on to demonstrate how the mounted tablet on her dashboard allows her to input safety-related information, creating a more secure and transparent journey for the kids.
And they want to be able to say, okay, my kid made it to school. And they're able, it's just peace of mind to give them so they can see that their kids made it to campus on time.
According to Texas Department of Transportation, in 2022, 7 people were killed, 305 crashes involving a Texas school bus. Driver inattention and speed were the top factors of those crashes. Hyman Sandoval, the visionary overseeing the transportation department, sheds light on the driving force behind the revolutionary move.
Gives us more robust data, which we're able to utilize with our drivers and to be able to track our students. It's all about improvement. It's all about efficiency. It's all about making things a lot safer for everyone.
As the wheels of change keep turning, the app bridges the gap between parents, drivers, and educators for the future of school transportation in Texas.
Now, meanwhile, Austin ISD officials will meet this coming week to approve its plan for armed guards in schools. Earlier this month, the district's School Safety and Security Committee presented a plan to have 113 campuses. District leaders say they still need more than 80 officers, and for now they will have officers split their time between the campuses. Other school districts already have their armed guards in place. Justin Honore takes us inside the private security company stepping in to help schools in North Texas.
The clock is ticking before school districts across Texas are required to have armed security on their campuses.
McKinney's got their contract yesterday. Mesquite got their contract yesterday. So we're in the process of filling these 2 spots now.
Charles Hollis, the director of operations at LMP Global Security, has been working around the clock to fill the needs for armed guards. Right now, the security company has contracts with McKinney ISD, Allen ISD, Mesquite ISD, and Wiley ISD, asking for their services. It's up to Hollis and his team.
So Allen comes in at 17. Wiley comes in at 13. McKinney has 9, and Mesquite has 37. So those are all their elementary schools. We deal exclusively with elementary schools. We don't deal with middle schools or high schools because those are usually covered by the police department.
Finding enough men and women for each district is one challenge, but making sure their qualifications go beyond wearing the right uniform is key when protecting a school.
That's the task that you have, is making sure that they fit the mode to be accepting or accepted by the principals and the faculty and the parents. So they have to have, they can't come across harsh or anything along those lines. They have to be we try to get them as polished as we can because they're in the front lines with children.
Even though this is a triage, anything they might need in an emergency situation on campus.
Because ultimately, the bottom line on this is that the kids have got to be protected. Whether they use us or someone else, the kids have to be protected. There has to be someone in there to make sure no one hurts those children.
Meanwhile, some Houston parents are concerned over the new superintendent's directive for classroom doors to stay open at all times. Mike Miles says his open door policy creates a professional and collaborative environment which allows administrators to observe teachers and effectively coach them. Exceptions would be made for classrooms in noisy or unsafe areas or where kids are prone to run away. Another issue, as a lot of school districts are facing, that's vacant teaching positions. Austin ISD is an exception, with the district both attracting and keeping educators thanks to teacher raises. Back in May, the district approved 7% raises for teachers for staff.
Nationally, there is a teacher shortage, but I will say Austin ISD has taken measures to really recruit and retain our staff and our professional development and our compensation, and we're doing everything we can to make teachers feel like they're at home here.
The Teachers Union Texas AFT says while the raises are a good start, they would also like to see improved working conditions like making class size smaller and giving teachers reasonable hours during work days. Coming up, Texas college students are also back in class. After the break, we head to San Antonio to see how UTSA is handling an enrollment boom. Keep it here.
Hey everybody, I'm Carla Leal. More than 750 new state laws materialized in the latest legislative session, and most go into effect. In Focus Texas, we'll learn about the impact these measures will have on the lives of Texans with the help of state leaders and residents from across the state. You don't want to miss it, so join us Sunday or set your DVR for all the details. I'll see you then.
Stay connected to Spectrum News 1 with the Spectrum News app. Stream your trusted team live on the go or from home. And stay updated on the local news and weather forecasts that matter to you. Spectrum News, your community connection. Weather can be beautiful and at times powerful. Our weather experts update you with the information and the context you need so you can better plan your day. And we do it every 10 minutes. Weather on the ones.
How much you depend on the reliability of our products and services. Now, we've taken a new step forward in reliability by identifying potential service issues before they become a problem. If you're affected, we'll contact you and help schedule a free service appointment with one of our expert technicians. The proactive maintenance of our network is one of the many reasons Spectrum delivers the most reliable internet speeds in the nation. Spectrum, keeping you connected.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
And my family's hard as well. My dad started in the news business in 1955, so my dad was my idol. He was my mentor. I spent so much time in that world. I knew I just had to be a part of it. My life's purpose has been about informing, educating, and most importantly, connecting with people. It has been my passion to help people and make a difference in people's lives. I'm Brett Shipp, anchor, Spectrum News 1.
Sharing a cool view with you from Carpenter Park in Dallas on our Friday. Clear blue skies, water here on the ground. Wishing this was falling from the sky, but we do have a chance for rain. It's a low one as we head into the weekend. Thanks for one. I'm meteorologist Emily Borchard. Here's the weekend forecast, staying very hot. We will see temperatures come down a couple of degrees Sunday, but we're still hotter than 100. And I mentioned a low rain chance. We've got a cold front moving into the area on Sunday. That will be the focal point for scattered showers and thunderstorms. And it looks like early next week, a pattern change behind the front. We will see a drop in temperatures. But 107 the forecast for DFW on Saturday, 104 on Sunday. Small rain chances through the weekend, slightly better odds Monday with that front starting to push to the south, and then we're drier and eventually hotter by the end of the week. So high pressure that's been in control of our weather pattern shifts west. And that allows a northerly flow aloft and that front to move on in starting Sunday, stalling nearby into Monday. Unfortunately, NOAA says over the next 7 days, rainfall potential across the area will be under an inch, but we'll take it. We do know that it's going to feel better. Muggy meter. Notice Tuesday, Wednesday, it is going from muggy to comfortable, maybe even lower humidity into Thursday. I am here for it, and I'm sure you are too. Checking out the top temperatures through the weekend. Saturday, a little hotter. Highs anywhere from 105 to as high as 108. Feeling hotter than 110. And then Sunday, down a couple of degrees, but again, still over 100 across DFW. Your 7-day forecast shows upper 90s as we start next week. There's the heat relief we've been wanting. A high of just 95 on Monday, 96 Tuesday and Wednesday, 98 by Thursday.
As Texas college kids head back to class, UT San Antonio is making some major changes as the student population continues to grow. Here's Amber Hughes.
Antonio.
It's chaotic just because it's like so many people moving in.
Manco Bocanegra is a resident assistant entering his senior year.
I have 46 residents.
He gets to help freshmen like Chanel Williams get acquainted with campus.
Just seeing the parking lot coming in, I was like, whoa, you have lines and lines of students. UTSA has definitely expanded.
It has become a destination school.
Lynn Barnes is the Senior Vice Provost of Strategic Enrollment at UTSA. He says nearly 35,000 students are enrolled this school year, more than a 5% jump from pre-pandemic numbers.
A lot of success in many areas, academics, of course, our athletics, and I think just the success of our students has really propelled our growth.
But for some students, San Antonio is just a pit stop. Every year there's thousands of applicants who qualify for UT Austin admission, but there just isn't enough space.
Over the past few hundred students in the fall semester, these are students in the CAP program.
Chanel is enrolled in that coordinated admissions program. CAP students are forced to spend their first year at other schools in UT's system in hopes of transferring into UT Austin. A move Chanel is now reconsidering.
I'm starting to feel like really at home here. The campus isn't too big, but it's not too small, and there's so many great resources and opportunities here. So definitely starting to lean a little bit, but we'll see.
Ultimately, Barnes attributes UTSA's growth to the culture, multiple campuses, and valuable career exploration opportunities in the 7th largest city in the country.
We're trying to continue to grow and serve the needs of our community and the state.
Whether she stays home in SA or not, that just isn't Chanel's focus right now.
My dreams is to help someone, get my schoolwork done, and then maybe do Miss USA one day and become an attorney.
Well, it's no secret high school football reigns supreme in Texas. But as our Travis Raycheck shows us, for one Central Texas team, their coaching staff's dedication goes beyond the norm.
Get there. Same wires, we'll just tighten those wires today. Ball, good. Come on.
Beautiful, awesome. Scott Franklin likes being under the lights.
It's kind of living two lives. It's an orthodontist by day, which I love. I'm very passionate about that. When I leave the office, I put on my football hat, and it's football till 9 at night.
Years ago, Dr. Franklin decided he wanted to take care of teeth and started his own practice in Austin in 1996.
When I'm in work, I'm in probably a calmer, obviously unemotional, very surreal.
Itch to be around football.
I love sports. I love competition. Sometimes it takes a lot of energy and fire to do that I really can't do in an office setting. I just have to do it in a different way.
So a while back, he got that chance to be an assistant coach at Regent School in Austin. 16 seasons later, he's still there as the offensive coordinator and still doesn't make a dollar doing it.
I'm a volunteer. No one's twisting my arm to do it. I do it because I love it. You get to know these boys and you watch them grow into men. It's a really neat thing.
It's an enormous sacrifice, but one that the majority of coaches at Regents make. A staff of 19 is made up of mostly volunteers.
A lot of the guys, this is their opportunity to give back, and they love the game, and they love being around the kids, and the majority of the guys, the older guys at least, their kids played here or went to the school here.
Play fake for Franklin. Looked his sons, but they've moved on. Still, he stays.
I always say Friday night is a drug, and when those lights go on and that national anthem gets sung and you see those players, that nervous energy, there's no better feeling.
And we've got more high school football coming up. We will take a look at the biggest games from across the state of Texas after the break. Stay with us.
Well, I don't think y'all need me to tell you how hot it is, but I'm going to do it anyway because it is going to be hot over the weekend. 107 for Dallas into Saturday will be between about 105 to 107 over the weekend coast and out in El Paso. Here's the good news. Going into early next week, a cold front brings us the chance of rain statewide. We'll keep an eye on it. Stick around for more news and weather.
$16 teams, 15 grand. One tournament to decide who knows the most about separating news fact from news fiction. 1, 2, 3, that is correct, Jacob. The Spectrum News Challenge Tournament.
That sounds really awesome, man.
If you think you know the news, then it's time to take the challenge. Spectrum News Challenge, Wednesday nights at 8:30. Available on all your favorite devices.
When you buy Spectrum Mobile for just $29.99 a month, you get a second line for free. Or you can get one line for yourself and one line for your kid.
Sold.
Or both lines for yourself. I use one for business and another for business. I do a lot of business. Get one line of unlimited for $29.99 and get a second line free for 12 months. Call, click, or visit a Spectrum store today.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back.
Dad!
You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word.
We have one mission, and that is to serve our community.
To know the issues here in Texas, but also, more importantly, to know who it affects.
We want to make sure that you know what's going on in politics and weather and entertainment. You're going to get your local news. You're going to get storytelling about your local community. Your evening on Spectrum News 1. Weeknights starting at 5 p.m. Central.
The lights of Friday night shine brightest in this state. Towns transform to stalking the sideline, stars of tomorrow flashing their fresh potential, and powerhouse programs carrying on the tradition of those that came before them. It's a feel, it's a sound, it's a passion unmatched. It's Texas high school football, and we're covering the biggest games from Dallas to Austin, down to San Antonio, right here on Spectrum News 1. We have been building to this for far too long. The first Friday night of the high school football season. We are all over the state covering the biggest games, but where else to begin than a battle of defending champs in Dallas? Adam Rosso, take it away.
A high school game so big that they had to move it to a college stadium. Duncanville and South Oak Cliff each won state championships a year ago, and they met in a heavyweight bout in the SMU. Star power on both sides of the ball for this Duncanville team, and it was number 29 here getting things started. 4 plays, 4 Caden Durham touches, and a 68-yard house call for the LSU commit. Panthers rolling early. From one LSU commit to another, receiver DeCorian Moore, he's going to show you why he's one of the best juniors in the nation. This is a 79-yard catch and run. He gets past the defenders right here and gets all the way into the end zone. Panthers leading by a dozen after 1. This would be a dynamite night for Moore. We're going to the mid-second quarter now, and it's another huge score from him. This one a 71-yarder after a nice throw from quarterback Keelan Russell. Panthers all over the Bears early at SMU. Just before the half now, it's sophomore Austin Theus playing the supporting role to Moore at receiver. Another beautiful throw from Russell. Theus takes it to the crib. Duncanville really putting the game away in the first half. They led his longest touchdown of the night. It's an 89-yard scoring strike, 6 catches, over 270 yards, and 3 score. Duncanville rolls 34-13 over South Oak Cliff.
Man, this is the one I've been waiting on, just that connection with the quarterback, the trust from the coaches, the dogness from the O-line, man. It's just everything that we've been looking for, and we finally got it as a team.
That's a deadly weapon, you know what I'm saying? Go deep, go short. Like, he's just going to make a play happen anytime, anything. He's going to get the ball, go do something with it. He's just a special guy.
Let's send it down to Victor James in San Antonio.
Yeah, Adam, you can't get too much better than 2 San Antonio Powers and Johnson and Judson. Last season, it was Ty Hawkins' coming out party, but the Judson Rockets took home the dub. It was a back-and-forth shootout in the Alamo Dome, back-and-forth contest again, but with turnovers. Both defenses making key plays to stop drives all the way to the end. Senior wideout Michael Avery coughs up the Jags.
You know, we preach about biting the ball. We preach about near foot, near shoulder. The receiver said, hey, I'm going to go down and try to get some yak yardage. And our defensive back didn't back down from the challenge. And we were able to scoop in, recover the fumble. So we're just proud of him. I'm so proud of Noah. Noah's our kicker. And he had an amazing job, amazing split kick. Before that, he had an amazing chip kick. And then he had a winning field goal there. And it's just testament to the young man and their belief and their attitude. And I'm just so proud of them.
Both teams combined for 6 turnovers, but I'm sure Johnson head coach T.P. Miller would take the win any way he can get it, Trav.
Wow, what a win for the Jaguars. All right, we've got a showdown of Cedars in Central Texas. We're talking about Park hosting Ridge, 2 of the better programs in recent years, but 2 programs who struggled a little bit last season. No struggles for Cedar QB Aiden Arp. The senior signal caller was doing it all, scoring on the ground, through the air. How about a beautiful play design on this TD toss to Joshua Pecky? He would finish with 2 touchdown runs and that TD pass. Tyler Wynn would add a score on the ground, and that was more than enough offense for the vaunted Black Rain defense. They were all over the field, creating turnovers in the second half, had a couple of picks, a fumble recovery, all helping the Timberwolves start the year off right. A very impressive win, 29-7.
I think it's obviously a great start. You know, come out, we score a lot on offense, defense gets a lot of turnovers, gave us great field position, and we kind of did our thing. I mean, starting off 1-0 is always important because, you know, we had a rough year last year, but are picking up and expecting some big things out of our team. I think we just realized how much more experience we have from last year going to this year. We were a young team week, and we knew we were coming out with the dub. For sure, I mean, the O-line picked it up a lot from this year to last year, and I think everybody settled in, and we're really we're excited for this year. We're all pretty prepared for what's to come next. We're ready to go be Vandy.
Big one for Cedar Park next week as they will meet state finalists from last year and rival Vandegrift. All right, folks, week 1. Hope you had fun. We will see you next week and all season with big games from all stretches of this state here on Spectrum News 1.
A thriving community is an informed community, and being able to play a role in bringing people the news is something that I take very seriously. There's just so many things to love about the state of Texas. Southern hospitality, great food. I love that there are so many different cultures celebrated. I want people to turn us on in the morning and feel like they've got the information they need to go out and conquer their day.
I'm Alex Stockwell, anchor for Spectrum News 1.
Spectrum Mobile is giving you 1 free mobile line when you buy 1 unlimited line for $29.99.
So I can get 2 lines for the price of 1?
That's right, for just $29.99. It's the best deal in mobile.
But is the service reliable?
Absolutely. Spectrum $29.99 and the second line is free.
All with no taxes or hidden fees.
Switch to Spectrum Mobile Unlimited for $29.99 a month and get a second unlimited line free for 12 months. Call 1-844-882-2999.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We are connected, engaged, from the moment we rise. We move. We adjust, explore, relax, and grow together so we're ready to build a better tomorrow. Stay informed throughout your day with the Spectrum News app, exclusively for Spectrum customers.
Weather on the Ones, every 10 minutes. Also available on the Spectrum News app.
Good evening, Dallas-Fort Worth. Here's your Spectrum News in 90. The Dallas County auditor resigned after facing some backlash. The auditor's office was at the center of some payroll issues for city employees. According to the Dallas Morning News, some vendors and workers went more than 4 months without pay. Dallas ISD is currently seeking an exemption to a new state law. Next week, all Texas schools are required to have an armed guard on campus to over 100 people. And the Dallas Cowboys are getting ready for their 3rd and final preseason game. It'll be held at Jerry World in Arlington against the Las Vegas Raiders. Just a reminder, it is a preseason game, so most of the starters are not expected to play. The game kicks off at 7 Saturday night. Now, let's get a check of your hyperlocal Dallas-Fort Worth forecast and your weather on the ones.
Dallas-Fort Worth, take a look at your Saturday forecast hour by hour starting at 10 a.m. 10 a.m., 94 degrees. Note, that is our normal high for this time of year, and that's our temperature at 10 a.m. So needless to say, we are way above average, and headed into the afternoon, a high of about 107 degrees, feeling upwards of 110 degrees. Stick around for the full forecast.
Continues across the state. The top water source in South Texas is reaching dangerous levels this summer. Our Blessing Iwachuku has the latest on near record lows at the Edwards Aquifer.
Let's see what the current water levels are today.
Paul Bertetti has been keeping a close eye on the Edwards Aquifer for nearly a decade.
Well, I've been at the AA since about 2017.
Since then, he has seen the ebbs and flows of this vital resource for more than 2.5 million South and Central Texans.
It goes from Uvalde, Medina, Bear, Comal, and Hayes, and a little bit of a couple of the counties on the south end as well.
Lately, he says it hasn't been looking too good.
You know, water levels are extremely low. We're in stage 4. Those restrictions don't happen very often. We have reports of people who have to refurbish their wells, deepen their wells, or deepen the intake of their wells to respond to the lowering water levels in the system. And that's not uncommon when you have this.
He says it's a drought that continued from 2022 and didn't even let up in 2023.
And all of the data that points to where we're headed, 2023 globally is likely going to be in the top 5 years of the hottest years we have ever seen. And those same scientists say there is a 50-50 shot that 2023 takes the top prize as the #1 hottest year ever recorded.
As we move into the fall and winter, weather experts say there could be a relief.
The evidence heading into El Nino is so strong. Doesn't mean that it rains the entire fall and winter. It positions us statewide to be better off in the rain department, and therefore, you know, being able to fill back up our lakes, our rivers, the Edwards Aquifer.
But how long will that even last when summer comes roaring back in with a vengeance?
Last year, we're talking about the lowest in 4 years. This year is the lowest in nearly a decade. 2024, do you think it's just gonna another record?
No,
there's evidence that supports that 2024 could be just as hot.
Yeah, I can't wait for fall. Well, as drought conditions continue, Laredo has now entered stage 2 water restrictions. That comes as demand for water supply increases while water tank levels remain low. And residents are required now to reduce irrigation usage during this time. And they're not the only ones dealing with water restrictions. Our Justin Honore takes us to a small North Texas town for a look at water issues facing folks there.
Water restrictions aren't unheard of in a Texas summer. But in McClendon-Chisholm, a small town east of Dallas in Rockwall County, water is even more scarce.
Luckily, these yellow flowers, they don't need too much water, so they're not suffering too much.
Sean Hendrickson says for the second straight summer, he and his family are being forced to follow extreme water restrictions. Their RCH water supply, all non-essential water usage is banned to ensure they remain below their contract limits. Meaning things like Hendrickson's pool and lawn are unable to be properly maintained to prevent this risk of running out of water.
When you keep on getting more people in here, then you're not gonna be able to sustain the level of water that people need.
Spectrum News 1 reached out to RCH Water Supply for comment, but after multiple requests, we have not received a response. According to the website, the city is in a stage 5 water restriction because of water shortages. In a statement from the Mayor Pro Tem Adrian Bolcom, she states city ownership of the RCH water system would ensure the lowest cost for customers, the most stable relationship with the water wholesaler, and the most transparency to customers. A resolution Hendrickson looks forward to being resolved, but worries this could be an issue which arises again.
It seems like a situation that's going to solve itself, or the people that are in charge are going to be able to solve this in a matter of, months or even like a year. It's a few years down the road, I believe.
This extreme heat's also keeping Texas first responders busy. Our Veronica Barriga spent the day with Austin Travis County EMS as they deal with an uptick in calls.
Your best access to the head might be through it.
It's pretty warm in that body.
As excessive heat warnings hit the state of Texas, with temperatures upwards of 105 degrees plus high humidity, first responders in Austin are busier than ever. From battling quickly spreading flames to hundreds of heat illness-related emergency calls.
I'm Medic 3, and we're about to approach our destination right here, just a little bit ahead.
As we arrive on scene, a man is suffering from the heat. He appears severely drained. This as Austin Travis County EMS medics tend to his aid. Calls like these are coming in strong, increasing by the hundreds compared to just 3 years ago.
Par, we ended June with 228 heat-related incidents, and that's at least the highest number in a month that we've seen in at least 3 years.
Now compare that number to last year at the same time. Captain Noack says it's been about a 43% jump. Whether you are working or just enjoying the outdoors, Commander Randy Chabra warns heat illness is very serious if left untreated.
If we don't do something right away, every minute that goes by where their temperature is elevated, they have brain cells that are being injured, that are dying, and they're going to have injury that's irreversible. That is going to.
County EMS says they are stocking up on tools of the trade.
So we have bags that are fluid resistant, where we can immerse a person, so that we surround them in this bag, and where we can then put water and ice on top of them to start that cooling process immediately.
Ready to respond at a moment's notice.
The University of North Texas is launching new programs to help address the shortage of emergency workers across the state. Among them is a bachelor's degree in applied sciences for emergency services. That degree would help people seeking a paramedic or firefighting career. And still to come, we get a look inside a North Texas film studio to see how they're looking to attract more filmmakers to the Lone Star State. That story right after this. Keep it here.
I am most satisfied when I'm making a difference. I get to go to work every day and communicate with fellow Texans who understand that quality of life matters and the choices we make matter. And if they can trust me to share important information with them, then I'm a happy camper. I'm Dr. Nicole Cross, anchor for Spectrum News 1.
From coast to coast, you've seen us around. We live and work in the communities we serve. Our commitment runs deep. We're invested here, creating good jobs and supporting small businesses, many of which we're proud to call customers. You count on us to keep you connected to what matters most. And we're committed to delivering you the best internet, TV, and mobile service. We're Spectrum. All call home.
When I first saw Turtle, my heart was full. Now I'm anything but lonely.
We had this deep connection, this heart connection.
He just wants to be close to you and part of your life.
Every day with Turtle is a perfect day.
When I'm holding her, it makes me feel calmer.
I think everything he does shows how much he loves us.
When we adopt a shelter pet, we discover they're a little bit of a lot of things.
But they're all pure love.
Weather can be beautiful, inconvenient, and at times powerful. And it affects everything we do. At Spectrum News 1, our weather experts update you with the information and the context you need so you can better plan your day. And we do it every 10 minutes. We're the calm in the storm, whether on the
Sharing a cool view with you from Carpenter Park in Dallas on our Friday. Clear blue skies, water here on the ground, wishing this was falling from the sky, but we do have a chance for rain. It's a low one as we head into the weekend. Thanks for staying with us here on Spectrum News 1. I'm meteorologist Emily Borchard. Here's the weekend forecast, staying very hot. We will see temperatures come down a couple of degrees Sunday, but we're still hotter than 100. And I mentioned a low rain chance. We've got a cold front moving into the area on Sunday. That will be the focal point for scattered showers and thunderstorms. And it looks like early next week, a pattern change behind the front. We will see a drop in temperatures, but 107 the 4 on Sunday. Small rain chances through the weekend, slightly better odds Monday with that front starting to push to the south, and then we're drier and eventually hotter by the end of the week. So high pressure that's been in control of our weather pattern shifts west. And that allows a northerly flow aloft and that front to move on in starting Sunday, stalling nearby into Monday. Unfortunately, NOAA says over the next 7 days, rainfall potential across the area will be under an inch, but we'll take it. We do know that it's going to feel better back behind this front. The humidity behind the front will fall. So we're looking at that muggy meter. Notice Tuesday, Wednesday, it is going from muggy to comfortable, maybe even lower humidity into Thursday. I am here for it, and I'm sure you are too. Checking out the top temperatures through the weekend. Saturday, a little hotter. Highs anywhere from 105 to as high as 108. Feeling hotter than 110. And then Sunday, down a couple of degrees, but again, still over 100 across the FW. Your 7-day forecast shows upper. There's the heat relief we've been wanting. A high of just 95 on Monday, 96 Tuesday and Wednesday, 98 by Thursday.
A conservation group in Central Texas is warning folks about the declining bat population. Our Dylan Scott takes us there to see the bats take flight and learn why conservation efforts are so important.
We're one of the places to see bats, to experience them, especially at the preserve like here.
As the resident bat cave steward,
less than a one-lane highway for them.
Ben Taylor finds plenty of joy in teaching fellow Texans about this animal's vital place in the food chain.
How could they be so small and cute? Or how can there be so many? Or where are they going? What is their life like? And how are they important to us? And these are all questions I get.
In fact, bats have saved Texas farmers almost $1.5 billion in crop protection. Talk about a true natural pesticide.
Especially for agriculture, for looking after what we enjoy eating, having bats around takes care of pests, keeps them at bay.
Organizations such as the Nature Conservancy have worked hard to preserve these habitats. This limestone cave in Mason County is among the largest female Mexican free-tail nurseries in the country. Millions of moms and pups under one roof.
They're sending out little pulses of sound, and they're listening for that echoes, and their brains can process all of that information really quickly.
With dinner and an upcoming tropical migration on their mind, a jaw-dropping bat NATO provides a glimpse into what ecologist and science project director Charlotte Rems says, from maternal instincts to strength in numbers, are a ton of commonalities.
Never gets old sitting here watching the bats and just thinking about what it takes for this many animals to live together.
These nocturnal mammals are facing a pandemic of their own. Along with man-made threats like turbines and greenhouse gases, white nose syndrome, a fungal disease, has killed thousands of hibernating bats across the state, decimating colonies of a variety of species.
We can do a lot of good by spreading the word and doing our part for the bats as a whole.
Luckily, scientists continue to make strides in combating this rising issue. However, Taylor and Rems agree, even having this conversation is essential progress.
50 years ago, we didn't think a whole lot about bats, but to keep Texas wild, I think we're working together as quite a good community.
Got to save the bats. A 5-part docuseries about Texas parks is now available for free on YouTube. It's called Our Texas, Our Future, and is a partnership between HEB and an Austin film company. Each episode highlights landscapes and parks. Meanwhile, in Dallas, a movie studio is getting a dramatic makeover in hopes of bringing more major films to North Texas. Our Michael Lozano shows us.
Here we are in the west building of Southside Studios in its kind of main stage area.
When Stephen Dimler realized Southside Studios was for sale,
I was seeing different scenes from my favorite movies, having worked on sets and produced films.
All he saw was potential.
What an opportunity. I sort of couldn't believe it hadn't been purchased and hadn't done more.
Dallas, Queen of the South, and The Chosen have filmed in this longtime production facility. But Demler and his company, Talent Entertainment Finance, want to up the ante.
It'll be 5 sound stages, varying in sizes from 20,000 plus square feet down to about 7,500. An 11,000 square foot virtual production studio with a huge 40 to 65 foot LED volume, camera packages, G&E packages, and about 15,000 square feet of actual /movie theater.
On top of state-of-the-art resources, they'll also finance projects that are filmed in-house. Demler, who is a longtime director, producer, and writer, says the latest $200 million state incentive package will be another boost.
We're going to make sure our fund brings work here.
Well, the city is famous for being home to the TV show Dallas and being the backdrop for a dystopian RoboCop film.
Everybody's still talking about the Dallas TV series from 40 years ago and RoboCop from 30-some years ago.
Dallas Film Commissioner Tony Armour says it's time to look towards the future.
The car rentals, the flights coming into town, there's so much that goes around a production happening that really benefits the area.
Armour says the multi-million-dollar upgrades to this studio will make Dallas the premier filming destination in Texas.
And Dallas hasn't had large soundstage space before until now.
Demler says the studio will be fully operational early next year, with the hopes that it employs Texans and brings a little bit of Dallas.
Coming up, meet a Texas man with quite the collection. He has everything from lunchboxes to comic book art, even a little kiss. The story next.
Well, I don't think y'all need me to tell you how hot it is, but I'm going to do it anyway because it is going to be hot over the weekend. 107 for Dallas into Saturday will be between about 105 to 107 over the weekend in Austin, 103 to 104 for San Antonio, maybe some 90s down at the coast and out in El Paso. Here's the good news. Going into early next week, a cold front brings us the chance of rain statewide. We'll keep an eye on it. Stick around for more news and weather.
The strength of Texas is in its many voices and unique perspectives, all on In Focus Texas. Education, economy, immigration, and more. Balanced and respectful discussion of the serious matters impacting Texas from experts across the state.
We take a closer look at the issues in your community.
In Focus Texas, Sunday mornings at 9:30 on Spectrum News 1, available on all your favorite devices.
So you're telling me this one-size-fits-all network upgrade is the best you guys can do?
Better than that. It's the only thing we do.
That's how we know it's right for you.
Aye.
Is that what I said?
No, I think you were okay. I think that's a yes.
We get it. Ask for the technology you need, and they call you unreasonable. We call you something else, our kind of client. So go ahead, be unreasonable.
I'll be here to hear what's on your mind. You can get it right. You know I'll be there all your life. When you need me, I'll be by your side.
Little everyday conversations about the dangers of underage drinking can make a big difference in a child's life.
Today at Zilker Park, where folks from across the state of Texas are coming together for this historic.
At Spectrum News, we're committed to our communities around the clock, delivering stories that inspire and news that matters in your community. Our journalists are dedicated to bringing you trusted, balanced local news every day. And now, Spectrum Internet-only customers, you can watch Spectrum News 1 on your TV, connecting you to your community 24/7. Spectrum News, now streaming exclusively for Spectrum customers.
Texans collect all sorts of things. We collect stamps, antiques, books, things like that. But one man's collection takes up his entire house and includes a little kiss. Check it out.
Steve Harris works for a local TV station, and on any given day, you'll find him at his computer. But when the workday is done,
I'm a Kiss collector. This is my Kiss corner with a K.
This corner is jam-packed with Kiss collectibles, and all original. They span the years the rock band was at its peak in the late 1970s.
So they are the most merchandised rock band ever.
And Steve ought to know he's been collecting Kiss since he was 14.
I firmly believe in surrounding yourself with the things that make you happy, and this stuff makes me happy.
And when you get older, you have a bigger bankroll and can buy more stuff. In this case, the good stuff, like these Kiss dolls downstairs.
These come from around 1977, 78. So to have them in the original box, which I have some upstairs, is really a find for collectors.
And don't forget the stairway covered in Kiss.
I have pictures with the band, I have pictures with Gene, some gold records, some autographs.
Between 200 and 300 biggest Kiss collection in the world, but Steve says he's more about quality than quantity, like his most valuable piece, this Kiss guitar.
And as you can see, this is a sticker that goes over the front, but there's also sound holes in this little guitar that usually those are punched out, and those are not punched out. So to have this in this condition is a really great addition, to this collection.
And worth more than $1,000. But you can't put a price on things you love. For Steve, it's like being a kid again, surrounded by his favorite rock band.
They were like superheroes. They had the costumes and the fire and the flash and the explosions.
And they found their forever home here. In fact, Steve will always have room for one more Kiss collectible.
And here with us today is the man himself, the man behind the Kiss collection. Steve, thanks so much for being with us. Appreciate you bringing all your stuff in. So, we saw a lot of things during the story. You've got a lot of things here that we saw. Is there one thing or some things that you don't have that you're dying to get?
Yeah, there are a few things I don't have that I'm still looking for, and one of them is the belt buckles that you'll see on the front of this table here. There are a lot of those. I only have 3 of them.
Yeah.
So there's probably another half dozen of those I'd love to get.
Really? Why are they so cool? Why are the
well, they remind me from the 70s, which was my prime Kiss years.
Yeah.
And they're made in a way. There's a thing on there we used to call Spectra tape, which was people used to put on cars and all sorts of stuff back in that time. Yeah. And it's just really cool. It's very nostalgic to me.
Right. And you and I talked a little bit about this, but not just Kiss. You've got a whole bunch of stuff that you collect in your house.
Yes.
It's worth a fortune.
Well, for all collectors, this is really important. Your homeowner's insurance will not cover your collectibles value. And what I mean by that, if you bought a comic book for $0.25 and it's now worth thousands of dollars, when it gets destroyed, most insurances will pay you back $0.25 for it.
What you paid for.
What you originally paid for
That's
it. They don't appreciate the value of it.
Right.
So you need a special collectible insurance for that, and there are a couple out there to cover your collectibles.
So they'll pay the value.
They'll pay the value.
They'll pay you that $2 million, whatever your stuff's worth.
Yes, absolutely.
Now you told me too that back in the day, you're not close to the same age. We're Kiss fans when we're 11, 12 years old, 1976. Yeah. You are a card-carrying member of the Kiss Army. Then, what about now?
Oh, I am absolutely now. Yes, I put in my dues every year, get my shirt, my pen, and I'm still a member of the Kiss Army. They're still cashing.
There you go.
It never does.
So what would you tell some folks, I mean, you're an expert at this, who want to collect Kiss, or they have some things in their attic they're not sure about? What do you tell them?
Well, I always say go with what makes you happy. Don't go with what is the most valuable or any of that. If you want the lunchbox and it's out there on eBay and you're willing to pay for it, I'd say go for it. If you have stuff laying around and you don't want it, there's a lot of people out there that will buy it.
Really?
There's still a lot of collectors out there, and if you go to Kiss shows now, you'll see a really wide range of, it's not just a bunch of 6-year-olds like me out there, so you'll see a wide range of ages. So there's still a market for this stuff. There's still stuff coming out all the time, new. So you can get Kiss stuff that's really not that expensive, and it's just newer stuff.
All right. Well, Steve, thanks so much. Appreciate it.
Hey, thanks for having me on.
And thank you for watching Spectrum News 1. I'm Todd Boatwright. Stay safe. We'll see you again soon.
The decisions elected officials make really have an impact on all of us. A big part of what we do on Capitol Tonight is break down the issues so that they're easily understood issues with relevant, in-depth conversations that provide context for Texans in a balanced and informative way. Capitol Tonight, weeknights at 7 on Spectrum News 1.
They say the best things in life are free.
That's why Spectrum Mobile is giving you one free mobile line when you buy one unlimited line for $29.99.
Hey, so I can get 2 lines for the price of one? That's right, for just $29.99.
Switch to Spectrum Mobile Unlimited for $29.99 a month and get a second unlimited line free for 12 months with no contracts. Call 1-844-537-2999. Visit spectrum.com/get connected or Spectrum store today.
It's the best deal in mobile.
Free mobile sounds good, but is the service reliable?
Absolutely. Spectrum Mobile is super reliable, coast to coast.
Okay, but what's the catch?
Is it contracts?
No contracts, no catch.
Get one line for $29.99 and the second line is free.
All with no tax.
Man, I'm switching to Spectrum. You see it?
Switch to Spectrum Mobile Unlimited.